Hey y'all, it's Gunnar Dethridge. Welcome back to my DIY space. Today we're going to be doing something that's really fun. I'm making a dress entirely out of flowers. Yes, you heard that right. Not just like regular flowers. I'm raiding this bush in my backyard and I'm going to attempt to make a dress out of it. Now, I loved my time on Project Runway. My favorite bits were the unconventional challenges. I loved them. It was the one thing I was excited about when I was on the show, and I actually did pretty well with them, I think because I'm just so crafty. And honestly, at the time, I was like such a young designer. Like, I didn't really know much about how to make clothing. I could put an outfit together, but nothing was really made that well. But I knew I was crafty. I grew up on Martha Stewart, lived and breathed for Martha Stewart. She's an icon in my world. And so I knew I could take on the crafting challenge because I knew how to work a glue gun, and I was not afraid to get my hands dirty and mess my manicure up. Like my season, we did a candy challenge, we did a hardware store challenge, which was like amazing. I can't believe I actually did not place in the top at the hardware store challenge, but whatever, not mad about it. My favorite challenge they ever did on Project Runway was truly the Floral challenge. There was a guy named Daniel Vosovic on there who I was like in love with. I think that's like when I really realized that I was gay. And he did this beautiful floral dress, and I was just so inspired by that. And so I went out back in my house, literally raided the entire Bougainvillea tree. They're everywhere in California. Mine is a giant fuchsia tree. They fade to like this orangey color when they're done, and I think it's gonna make a really sick dress. Now, it's not gonna be wearable. It's also not going to be something that's going to travel well, so I'm not going to sell it or anything like that. It's literally just an art project because why not? I already have the fabric that I'm going to use as the base, and I got the flowers in the back for free, so before we get into it, make sure that you like and subscribe. I want you guys to come back and see all my cool stuff that I do. Okay, y'all, let's make a floral dress. Okay, like I said, this Bougainvillea tree is in my backyard, and honestly, it sheds like this constantly. So our building has a landscaping crew that comes in every Friday, and I realized I wanted to do this dress on a Thursday night, so I had to wake up at like 6:30. It's like 7 in this video. I got dressed, took a box downstairs, and just started scooping up all of them. Definitely was a little nervous about the bugs. Ah! But there weren't any, like, randomly. Okay, guys, I got a bunch of them. Let's go make it. So I want to do an ombre effect and fade from this like fuchsia down into the orange, and I had to sort all of them out, which absolutely took forever. So the petals are actually dried out, that's why they fall off of the bush. So I want to make sure that I have some support in there because they obviously cannot hold themselves up in an entire dress. So I'm going to make a underdress using a cotton muslin, and I'm just going to lay out where I want my seams to go using a thin blue painter's tape that I cut. Now I use the cotton muslin to drape over the dress form and start making my pattern. You can also peep Survivor playing in the background. I watched an entire season while I was making this dress.
Is that part of the problem?
Now I'm just going to perfect that pattern that we draped on the dress form and then go in and add my seam allowance. Now we can just cut out that pattern and then get ready to start stitching it together. After stitching, I pressed all of my seams open flat and beautiful so that that bodice lays gorgeous on the body. After I finished the bodice, it was time to start working on the skirt, which I'm going to have 2 layers. These are circle skirts, so they have this little kick out at the bottom, which is only going to be amplified once I glue on the flower petals. And now it is time to start the torturous process of gluing all of these small dried out flower petals on, which absolutely took forever, by the way. This process almost killed me. I really wanted to find a way to attach these so that they could have a pattern and like really lay flat and kind of look cool and not bulky like flower petals. So I started angling them in towards the center of the bodice. I have this gut feeling I'm gonna be here all night. I like to choose a really hard project and then waste my entire day messing around on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. And then I'll be like, hey, I should probably get to work at like 7 o'clock at night.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
At this point, I have 2 different glue guns going because one of them will not pump out the glue. I'm using it too fast and it's cooling off, so I had to have another one, and I'm having to alternate between the 2. And it was at this time when I realized that I was destined to have blisters on all of my fingers from burning them. And yes, I could have used tweezers, and yes, I could have worn those gloves, but y'all, I made this dress in like 12 hours. Who has time for tweezers and gloves? You just gotta burn yourself sometimes. It's part of the experience. Although, caution, don't burn yourself. Okay, time to get back to gluing the bodice. My goal is to have the entire bodice finished tonight and maybe a little of the skirt. Okay, so it's like midnight. I also just realized a cool trick. You can literally steam this and it will kind of take a shape. You can like mold it, which was unexpected and exciting because then it means it will look a little more like a fabric and a little bit less like flowers. I am definitely putting the iron to work on this tonight. I'm pushing this steam button like it pays the bills. Pay my
my bills are paid.
Now that I've added a little bit of moisture back into the petals, I'm just going to kind of press them onto the form so that they can kind of cling to it. It gets rid of a little bit of the 3D effect. It makes it look a little bit more like a pattern, which I think is pretty chic. Okay, so the top is finally finished and I'm going to begin working on the skirt. I'm going to get this ombre pattern going, which to be honest with you was a lot more difficult than I would have liked for it to have been. You just have to like really pay attention to like the rows that you're adding in, like what colors are coming next, because that gradient is really important to this overall effect that I want to do.
That's how you do it.
After I got the hang of applying everything and really kind of found my pattern and my groove, all I had to do was just keep doing it again and again and again until I could really get the top of the skirt into a good place.
"2,000 years later."
Now I can finally start working on the bottom layer of the skirt, which is actually going to be only the orange kind of peachy color, which means that they're even more dead, so I had to be even more careful and make sure that I did not break them. I was sitting on the floor for like 2 or 3 hours gluing these on, and finally I decided to sit up on the table and lay this out flat so that I actually glue them. I don't know why it took me so long to get to it, but after 3 episodes of Survivor in a row, I was finally finished with the skirt and ready to take the dress out and shoot the reveal video for all of you.
Here we go.
Okay, just carrying a dress on a dress form. This is my life. I feel like so many people see me do this. It's only a matter of time before I end up on Influencers in the Wild. I'm hiking a mountain with my mannequin right now to get a shot. Whenever I do a project like this, I never really know what the outcome is going to be like. Like sometimes it can look really bad. I've definitely done a few of these unconventional challenges that I did not love, but like this one looks really sick. I can't believe how polished it looks. I love the shape it takes on. It definitely gives you a little dose of Hunger Games, which the more dresses I make, the more I realize that's just a little aspect of my design aesthetic.
Eyes bright, chins up, smiles on.
If you have suggestions on dresses you'd like to see me create or places you'd like to see me shop for supplies to make a dress, I would definitely be open to that. Just drop them in the comments below. I have definitely done dresses from Dollar Tree. I've done dresses from Party City.
Go back to Party City where you belong.
I also made a Met Gala dress out of wrapping paper from Home Goods at one point. But I have to say, next to my wrapping paper dress that I did for Target, this is actually my favorite dress that I've done, made out of an unconventional fabric.